Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Mike Amos. Hoping you're doing well today. We were going to be outside, but we couldn't get it arranged, so we're back inside. And I think I'd rather be inside because it's cold outside. Man, it's cold. Very unseasonably cold. Right at 49 degrees in downtown Troy, and the airport. One guy had 47 degrees this morning, so pretty cold out there, and hopefully it's going to be warming up and going to be very conducive, using that word conducive, for a wonderful Troy Fest this weekend, and we're expecting huge crowds of people and a lot of fun in downtown Troy coming up, starting around 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And of course, we encourage you to come downtown and have breakfast at Bird's early and move around and meet some of these artists. They come from all over the country, and should be quite a day and quite a weekend for Troy, Alabama. Quarterback Mayfield is the first man picked by the pros. Baker Mayfield, the Oklahoma quarterback, will be the first man picked in the NFL draft, so he will become an instant multi-millionaire. So Baker Mayfield's going to the Browns. Can he turn the Browns around? No. I don't believe anybody can. But we'll wait and see. Alabama sent 4 of their players in the first round, so that means that's 4 instant millionaires on Alabama's football team. Micah Fitzpatrick was the first of the 4, and he was taken in the first round of the NFL draft, and we'll look into more of that. Of course, he was drafted by the Miami Dolphins, and being selected by the team during the first round of the NFL draft. So I'm sure he's excited. I would think most players would like to go to warm climates. Cleveland's not a very warm climate, I promise you. But we'll take a look at the draft today, and we'll also have my good friend Morgan Drinkard be coming in talking about the Troy Fest and the logistics and so forth of Troy Fest, and because there are a lot of things you need to know, and of course there's going to be plenty of food vendors down there for breakfast, lunch, and supper, and it should be a lot of fun from downtown Troy, the annual Troy Fest, Gene Lake Troy Fest, and it'll be hopping in downtown Troy, believe you me, comes Saturday and Sunday. Of course, Sunday it all starts at 7 o'clock. So, excuse me, Saturday it all starts at 9 o'clock, and then on, I think it runs around 4 o'clock, I want to say 4. And then Sunday, it'll start a little bit later in the morning and end around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So should be a lot of fun and a lot of excitement for folks that are coming here to Troy to visit, and also people that are here that will support Troy Fest. First round of the NFL draft. The first guy picked was Baker Mayfield going to Cleveland. The New York Giants picked Penn State running back Saquon Barkley. The Jets took Sam Darnold, the quarterback from Southern Cal. He didn't stay in the pros in college very long. Cleveland took Denzel Ward, the cornerback from Ohio State. Denver took Bradley Chubb, defensive back from North Carolina State. Number 6 pick went to Indianapolis, and they took Quentin Nelson, the guard from Notre Dame. Buffalo took Josh Allen, the quarterback from Wyoming. Chicago took Waquan Smith, the linebacker from Georgia. The 9th pick overall was Mike McGlinchey, the big offensive tackle from Notre Dame. That already shows you that Notre Dame is in the top 10. Had the only 2 players in the top 10. The number 10 pick went to Arizona. Josh Rosen, the big quarterback from UCLA. So there were 3 quarterbacks picked in the first round. Number 11, Micah Fitzpatrick, the safety from Alabama. He's a millionaire today. Also, Tampa Bay took defensive tackle from, well, let's see here. Tampa Bay from Cincinnati through Buffalo took Vita Vea, defensive tackle from Washington. The 13th pick was by Washington. They took Daron Payne, the defensive tackle from Alabama. The 14th pick overall went to the Green Bay Packers, and they took Marcus Davenport, the defensive end out of the University of Texas, San Antonio. The 15th pick went to Oakland. Colton Miller, of offensive tackle from UCLA. That's the second UCLA guy picked. Buffalo took from Baltimore Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker from Virginia Tech. The 17th pick overall was for the Los Angeles Chargers, Derwin James, the safety out of Florida State. The 18th pick went to Green Bay, Jerry Alexander, cornerback out of Louisville. 19th pick overall was Leighton Vander Esch, the linebacker out of Boise. Number 20, Detroit took Frank Ragnow, the center out of Arkansas. The 21st pick, we're just going over the top, the first round picks. Cincinnati took Billy Price, the center from Ohio State. Tennessee took Rashaan Evans, the linebacker out of Alabama. So that was surprising. Former Auburn High School star, and now be playing in the pros. New England took Isaiah Wynn, the guard from Georgia. Carolina, in the 24th pick overall, took DJ Moore, the wide receiver out of Maryland. Number 25th pick overall, Baltimore took Hayden Hurst, the tight end from South Carolina. Atlanta, in the 26th round, took Calvin Ridley, wide receiver from Alabama. So he's made it in the first round. Atlanta took, so Ridley will be there with another former Alabama great. So two of the best receivers in the country played at Alabama, now at Atlanta. Julio Jones is the guy that he'll be joining forces with. Seattle, in the 27th pick overall, took Rashad Penny, running back out of San Diego State. The 28th pick overall, Pittsburgh took Terrell Edmonds, a safety out of Virginia Tech. The 29th pick overall went to Jacksonville, and they took Taven Bryan, a defensive tackle out of Florida. Minnesota took cornerback Mike Hughes out of the University of Central Florida. New England, in the 31st pick overall, took Sonny Michael, the running back out of Georgia. And Baltimore, from Philadelphia, took Lamar Jackson, former Heisman Trophy winner and quarterback at Louisville. So those are your first 32 picks in the NFL draft, and like everybody says, most of those you would consider each one of those guys will sign at least $1 million contract, so they all become millionaires. So that's the draft yesterday. I didn't even know what was going on. I tell you, I must be just totally losing it because I didn't. The first thing I knew anything about the draft was this morning, and I watched a couple of movies on TV last night. Didn't even think about the draft, but it is exciting times, and there will be more and more guys drafted today. There'll be 7 rounds of draft choices, and best reliever of a frog in your throat, there is a good hot cup of coffee. I was talking to some friends of mine this weekend, and we were talking about how fans get excited and sometimes how announcers get excited and everything. But if this show can't be laid back, we just could not do it. I mean, if we had to worry about every commercial break, if we had to worry about every person that's going to come on at a certain time and stay a certain time, I don't think we could make it. But if I could just say, bring me a cup of coffee, or if I could say, come on up, or whatever, it makes our show a lot easier to do and more fun, to tell you the truth. So we're going to be as laid back as possible, and we hope that you enjoy watching our show. We hope that we're informative. That is more important than anything, is that you know what's going on in this community after watching this show. And, of course, I want to remind you that Troy University's got a big baseball series today, starting tonight at 6 o'clock. There'll be another game at 1 o'clock on Saturday and 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock on Sunday. So we've got a lot of great baseball coming up this weekend to watch, and hopefully you'll join us at the ball game and support the Trojans. Of course, high school playoffs continue today. We reported yesterday about Pike Liberal Arts, 21 hits, 21 hit Lee Scott, beat them 15-2, and they thanks to a 3-run homer in the first game by Reed Jenright, Pike Liberal Arts swept Lee Scott and will now play in Tuscaloosa against Tuscaloosa Academy for the right to go to the Final Four in high school baseball. We want to mention also we've got golf going on this weekend, the Zurich Classic in New Orleans, and that is a little different setup, though. It's sort of a 2-man scramble format, and that'll be a lot of fun to watch. And we'll go over some of the leaders. This is unusual for the pro circuit, but it definitely has its moments. I was looking at one group today. John Daly and Rory Sabatini are partnered together. I thought that was an unusual group. Of course, Duffner and Perez. That's 2 guys pretty well known, especially Jason Duffner. We were looking at some other guys that were, let's see, Spieth playing with Palmer, Snedeker playing with Holmes. Just looking down at a lot of these guys. A lot of guys set out this week because of this format, and but it's going to be fun. It's a 4-ball type setup, and right now the early scores, Riviere and Glover shot 31-29 for 60, so they're 12 under. Zhang and Dao are two Chinese or Japanese golfers were in second place. Again, Kisner and Brown, Merritt and John, Walker and O'Hare. A lot of different former groups here, and we'll watch that a little bit today. Again, we're waiting for Morgan Drinker to come and talk to us about the big weekend we've got coming up. As I mentioned, we've got college baseball starting at 6 tonight from Riddle Pace Field. And then, of course, there'll be a lot of the artists coming to town and getting ready in downtown Troy. Please, please, please don't have your car parked in the square after a certain time this morning. And so please don't forget, because the last thing in the world they need is to have some cars in the square and not able to get the artists set up. So that's something that we've got to be real careful with starting this morning. I don't think they're going to allow anybody to park there this morning, so we'll be waiting to watch to see how all that pans out. We'll of course appreciate all of our sponsors today, and Dixieland Dental has been one of the strong sponsors of this show for, gosh, ever since we've been on, and we appreciate so much what they've done to support our show. And again, they are wonderful people, and it's a wonderful dental clinic located 9 miles north of Dothan on Highway 231. Dr. Michael Precise, Dr. John Strength, Dr. Damon Strength, and Dr. Robert Precise make up one of the largest dental clinics in the state of Alabama. We'll be right back.
The new house pizza from Little Caesars is our first pizza with 3 smoked meats. So we got barbecue champion Big Mo Quezon to test it out. 8-hour smoked brisket.
Certified beefified.
10-hour smoked pulled pork.
Certified hoggified.
Applewood smoked bacon.
Certified baconfied.
Drizzled with tangy barbecue sauce plus a smokehouse seasoned crust.
Certified smokified.
The new Smokehouse Pizza. Only $9 and only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Here at Town & Country, we are proud to be an American.
We've had you covered on the inside since 2005, and with our addition of Southern Grill and Patio, we now have you covered on the outside. Come see our great selection, where we make sure grilling and relaxing go hand in hand.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time.
Know-how, Napa know-how.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line that we offer Blue Cross Blue Shield, we offer dental, we offer disability, we offer vision, we offer life insurance, cancer insurance. We also have a 401k where we match up to 4%, dollar per dollar up to 4%. We also have automatic trucks at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. If you go to a truck driving school, we'll reimburse you. And don't forget about the $1,000 sign-on bonus. Money! Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We help you save for your future.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Jean's Flowers on South Brunny Street, right in Troy. You're looking for a great deal on beautiful, beautiful flowers, and they do all kinds of things. Not only with flowers, they can send them across the world, across the nation, and they'll get there quicker than any place you'll find anywhere. And also, they have gifts selections that are the best in town, and they can put together any kind of decor that you would like, from flowers to art. They do it all at Jean's Flowers right here on South Brunny Street in Troy. And a person that's a little involved with Jean's Flowers is coming in to our studio as we speak, the very lovely Morgan Drinkard. And of course, our show is brought to you by Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need, with 12 locations to choose from all around the Wiregrass area. And we appreciate them so much being a sponsor on this show, as do we love Marco's Pizza and also Earl's Glass. They do all kinds of glass work, from automobile, truck and car windshields to all types of glass in your interior of your home. We appreciate it very much. And also the Messenger. Don't live in Troy without subscribing to the Messenger. And we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
The new Smokehouse Pizza from Little Caesars is our first pizza with 3 smoked meats. So we got barbecue champion Big Mo Quezon to test it out. 8-hour smoked brisket.
Certified beefified.
10-hour smoked pulled pork.
Certified hoggified.
Applewood smoked bacon.
Certified baconfied.
Drizzled with tangy barbecue sauce plus a smokehouse seasoned crust.
Certified smokified.
The new Smokehouse Pizza. Only $9 and only at Little Caesars.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Here at Town & Country, we are proud to be an American.
We've had you covered on the inside since 2005, and with our addition of Southern Grill and Patio, we now have you covered on the outside. Come see our great selection, where we make sure grilling and relaxing go hand in hand.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time.
Know-how, Napa know-how.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line that we offer Blue Cross Blue Shield, we offer dental, we offer disability, we offer vision, we offer life insurance, cancer insurance. We also have a 401k where we match up to 4%, dollar per dollar up to 4%. We also have automatic trucks at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. If you go to a truck driving school, we'll reimburse you. And don't forget about the $1,000 sign-on bonus. Money! Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We help you save.
Hey, I think of. So if it doesn't say Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, believe you me, you don't want it. And we appreciate Wiley Sanders Truck Lines being one of our sponsors of the show. And the very lovely Morgan Drinkard has joined us this morning. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're fired up for Troy Fest.
We're really excited about Troy Fest this year. This morning we have our T-shirt, this year's T-shirt that was designed by a student at Covington Christian School, Courtney Cobb, and the artwork, her artwork was turned into a T-shirt design.
I think that's one of the prettiest shirts that I've ever seen.
And it's a pretty orange color, nice for spring, and we'll have these T-shirts available at the festival. And a lot of people consider the Troy Fest T-shirts almost collectible items.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They like to get them each year, and so we think this will add to the collection.
And I'll tell you something else, it's a quality shirt.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it's great art on a quality shirt.
Yeah.
Mike, you do business with a lot of T-shirts. There are good ones and there are bad ones. Is that right?
Well, I mean, it's all about...
What bad ones are those that you can see through, is that right?
Well, I mean, it's all about quality. You know, if you do like a Comfort Colors, or, you know, you can do a Gildan Hanes, you can do a little bit of anything. Depends on what kind of price point you want to be at. If you want to do a 1-color print, 2-color print, I mean, front logo, back logo, all that comes into
this
play.
one, you had quite a lot to put on this shirt, didn't you?
Yes, we have. So this is a 4-color process T-shirt, and we bid out.
4-colored, Mike.
We bid out our T-shirts each year. We welcome any of our local companies to participate in that process.
I'm a local company, so I can do it for y'all. Just let me know. Next year.
You need a bid on it. You need a bid on it.
Yeah, we have. Like I said, we've
what was the name of the company that made that shirt?
Ideal.
Ideal.
Oh, the T-shirt itself is a Portland company, and Ideal has been a great partner of ours for many years, and they print our shirts.
And of course, you would rather it be a local company that gets to be it.
Well, Ideal is a local company, Ideal Graphics.
That's right. That's what I
They're
thought.
located
One of our sponsors, Tony and Laurie, they do a great job, no question about it. Mike Amos calling in from Birmingham this morning. Mike, you can throw a rock. You can throw a rock and almost hit Morgan's house.
In Chelsea.
Mom and Daddy's house.
I can't throw a rock to Chelsea. I can throw a rock and hit Mountain Brook right
now. He's right off Overton Road.
Okay.
Right there at Liberty Park.
Yeah.
And Overton Road that way. And
did you watch any of the draft last night, Dad?
Of course. What, the shirt? Okay, we didn't get a zoom in on the shirt. Yeah, last night, Mike, 4 Alabama players were drafted. You want to name them? Name them. Name who you think. Morgan? Well, no, I want you to name who you think they were.
Oh, I watched the draft. I saw it. It was.
Oh, you did?
Mickey Fitzpatrick.
Come on down here, lower. Perfect right there. Isn't that a beautiful shirt?
Deron Payne. You had.
That's a sharp shirt right there.
The biggest surprise of the night is Calvin Wrigley slipped all the way down to 26 to the Atlanta Falcons.
And he's in there with Julio Jones. Won't that be a great combination?
Really, Julio Jones, that'll be unbelievable.
Yeah. Before we get started today, we've got some sponsors' names on the back of those shirts. Is that right?
Yes. So our Best of Show sponsors for Troy Fest are KW Plastics, Troy Cable, Max Credit Union. Our Blue Ribbon sponsors are CGI, Southeast Alabama Rural Health Associates, The Messenger. Our Red Ribbon sponsors are Army Aviation Center Federal Credit Union, Glow, Godwin Materials, KW Plastics, Guardian Credit Union, Troy Bank and Trust, Marcus Paramore for House District 89 campaign, Townsend Building Supply, Golden Boy. Our Merit Award sponsors are CrossFit Ilium, Gibson and Cardin, Landmark Realty, Neighborhood Bar, Palomar Insurance, Pike Internal Medicine, Sips on the Square. And then Troy Cable is also one of our media sponsors, and our in-kind sponsors are the Johnson Center for the Arts, Horn Beverage, and Mama Goldberg's Deli. And Troy Fest is held in honor and memory of Gene Lake, and is presented by the City of Troy, the Pike County Chamber of Commerce, and the Troy Arts Council.
And of course, it's the biggest day of the year in Troy, Alabama.
It's pretty smart if you're campaigning, if you have your campaign on a shirt.
That's right.
I'm sure there's some candidates out there that said, why didn't I do that?
I have to give Marcus credit for that.
Yeah, we had several inquiries about the best way for our local political candidates to be involved in Troy Fest, and so those that asked in advance, we told them that sponsorship was the best option, because we have, of course, our artist gallery, and then we have a community corner, and many of them requested to be in our community corner set up, but the organizations in our community corner are nonprofit organizations, 501c3 incorporated nonprofits. So, and then we have a no solicitation policy at Troy Fest. So we
you won't have any campaigners out there. Is that
we
right?
will be asking them not to do that. So if they are continuing to do that,
they want to park on down the road with their truck. You know,
right.
The thing that all of them are doing now, Mike, they've got trucks with signs in the back. and they just drive that truck anywhere they want to.
Yeah, we'll clear out the downtown square beginning at 5 o'clock today.
All right,
so
that was real important.
Yes.
We talked about that earlier. You mean so you can park there till 5?
Until 5, and then at 5 o'clock, particularly if you work on the square, it's really nice. I know that it's convenient to park on the square, but at 5 o'clock, we put the barricades up. We try to start exiting all of the vehicles so that we can set up for the festival. And
will you have to tow vehicles?
Yes, we do every year. Every year
that's a shame, but they ought to know better, you know.
Well, we have signs posted, and so it's we ask that the cars are moved, but sometimes we don't have to, but it makes it easier when the cars move. But you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't get to the square," but big cities like downtown Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, they block off their downtown for days, and sometimes 24 hours in advance of a festival. So we think to close at 5 p.m. And there's still parking available at the First Methodist Church, at the Pike County Courthouse, and so you can still park and walk to the square to enjoy B. Graves or Sips on the Square, Rumors, or Mama Goldberg. So still make plans to come downtown to eat Friday afternoon, Friday evening. I can tell you that the parking does not stop people from coming downtown to eat on Friday evening.
I would think it'd be a party atmosphere.
Yeah, in fact, most people like to come see what's going on and like to get a little preview of who's coming.
And now, since right there at the Little Framery, Vicky's place, where you can take Elm Street and take it all the way around in front of the courthouse.
Yeah.
That really provides very good parking.
Yes. So there are some great parking options available, for this evening if you want to still plan to come downtown to.
And then we've already encouraged everybody that lives on West College and Walnut and Murphy to walk downtown. And of course, they get breakfast in the morning at Birds, and and enjoy a great weekend.
Dolce
tell us about Dolce. I have the worst time pronouncing that, but boy, I had some quiche there. A big old fine piece of quiche. Mike, have you ever eaten quiche?
Yeah, there's a place in Birmingham we get it from all the time.
Well, let me tell you this, Dolce is big time quiche, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's wonderful. They have a great selection.
And of course, you talking about.
When I came through Troy, you brought me donuts from Sips on the Square that were good.
I know, you're right. Sips on the Square will have donuts in the morning too, won't they?
Yes. So there are a lot of great options. We also have
any store that's not going to be open for business this weekend are not serious about their business. Don't you agree?
I agree.
When there's a possibility of 10,000 people be walking by your store,
That's right.
And you know what I would do?
One time, had a food truck guy. The guy came up from, I guess, Louisiana with pralines that were really good.
Yeah, we have lots of food trucks coming and festival food vendors this year. We have Meat Candy, which is a food vendor that has all kinds of barbecue and meats, and we have a rib place, and we have lots of great festival food for the weekend. So.
Yeah, I was going to mention Chase Whitley's back in the major leagues with the Atlanta Braves. So that's
isn't that great?
Baseball player.
Of course, Chase Whitley played at Troy. But he's from a little town just west of Atlanta, wouldn't you say?
Well, no, it's on the Alabama line.
I know, yeah.
Ranburn.
Ranburn, Alabama. You're exactly right. Of course, you're from Chelsea, from out here, Chelsea, by way of Demopolis.
That's right. That's right.
You were born and raised. Spent most of your life in Demopolis.
Well, I was born in Starkville, Mississippi.
I got you, Mississippi State.
Yes, and then moved to Demopolis at a very young age, and still say raised in
Demopolis.
Demopolis.
Well, I will tell you this: Demopolis is a fine town. I'll tell you that. And of course, then you moved to Chelsea, and everybody wants to live in Chelsea. Isn't that right, Mike?
It is growing like crazy.
It is growing.
A lot of people, the only time I drive down that way usually is to go to Lake Martin, but it's definitely grown a lot.
Yeah, no question about it. And of course, you gotta want
to live down there if you work downtown Birmingham. There's a lot of people living Chelsea drive downtown Birmingham and drive back every day. I don't know how they do it. But.
And you get on 25 and go connect with 65, don't you, to go home, don't you, to go back to Troy, don't you?
You can. I normally go up 65 to Alabaster and then go on Highway 11 to go to Chelsea. So.
Yeah, I got you.
So. Yes, so we're getting excited for Troy Fest this weekend. We have
in your paper today.
In the messenger you can see the Troy Fest guide that's available. So I hope you pick up a messenger today. It's also available in different formats on our Facebook page. But we have over 17 painters this year. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14 jewelry artists, and that's a wide variety of jewelry.
Sure is, yeah.
That's the only reason we have that many jewelry artists accepted this year is because the styles are very unique. You have some that work with silver and precious stones, and then some that work with more beads and copper and metals, and so
we don't have any Mary Holman Johnson.
No, but I told her that I want to see her at Troy Fest next year. She was at Scott's Antiques Market, and I told her, come to Troy Fest.
You went to Scott's this past week?
I didn't go. I saw on Facebook where she was at Scott's, and I said,
she's got
she was there that weekend. I said, come to Troy Fest.
You think she's got a booth there now?
I don't know if it was one time or if it was permanent.
How many times you reckon I've been to Scott's, Mike? Well, my wife and I used to go to Scott's every month.
I bet. Yeah. And we have,
It's hard for me to want to go to Atlanta for anything these days. It's just too big.
It is bad, no question.
Well, we hope everyone's making plans to come to Troy Fest. A great place to buy your Mother's Day gifts, to buy wedding gifts, graduation gifts, or just great things for your own home.
Yeah. You know, Mike,
do you have any wall space left in your home, Dad, for a Troy Fest?
Not much. My wife would have to pick out a place first. But you know what? She loves Troy Fest, and Jacqueline loves Troy Fest. If you're a Trojan, and you don't like Troy Fest, you need to find somewhere else to live, because Troy is an artsy town, wouldn't you say?
Yes, and particularly like the story in the messenger today about Jean Lake. One of the great parts of Troy Fest is the focus on folk art. And so Jean Lake, of course, that's attributed to Jean Lake's emphasis in the festival. And so a lot of people know Troy Fest as a folk art festival. But as I told Jane Treadwell yesterday when we were talking about this, you know, we don't, as a festival committee, decide we're going to be a folk art festival. It's our community that continues to support folk artists and buy their items and take interest in folk art that makes Troy Fest a folk art festival.
Will Wiley Lowry be out there?
He has not submitted an application, so at this time it surprises me too, but he may show up. You know, that happens sometimes. So
exactly right.
He may not have had enough material, may have sold all his material.
Do you feel like we have a large range of artists?
Yes, we have 87 artists this year, and that's a not only a high number, but we have a great variety of pottery, sculpture. We have some new sculpture artists. Men of Iron from Hartford, Alabama. They're always a great draw a great crowd with the Jean Lake folk art. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 folk artists, and so that's really great. Scott McQueen, people love him. John Sperry's a new one from Maysville, Georgia. Has some really great work. Really great work. There's some pictures of his work in the messenger today. So
how long does this go back? I remember when I was a kid going to the Jean Lake Festival, like out at the Pioneer Museum. How many years is this going back now? Dad, do you know?
Gosh, back into the 70s.
Right. It says, so here in this article it says
Jean Lake's husband was Trigger Lake?
Yes.
Trigger Lake, yeah.
And she passed away in 1976, the article says. And so it was
when I was born.
It was going on for years before she passed away. So
yeah. No question about it.
That's a long time, because I'm 42 years old now.
Well, she was a class act. Mama worked at Rosenberg's.
Yeah, and this is the 16th year.
Trigger was a great football player, played at Troy, and great guy.
This is the 16th year that we've held it on the downtown square.
Yeah, which I think is wonderful, no question about it. And I can remember so well out at the off the Highway 231. I remember that very well, and down in that bottom and so forth. And but it was unique. But this right here really enhances all of downtown Troy.
Yeah, there are some great advantages to the move to downtown. I do love the atmosphere of being under the trees and at the museum. But one of the main things for us is that the hosting it on the downtown square makes it handicap accessible.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it allows us to be eligible for grants through the State Council on the Arts. And if we did not host it at an event location that was ADA compliant, then we would not be eligible for grants.
No question about it. Of course, it all
Looks like
gets.
y'all are gonna have a great weather. I mean,
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
man.
I think it's gonna be beautiful
You know,
weather.
I'm sure you were praying for it yesterday. Go on and get out of here.
That's right.
I noticed on the map today it's in Atlanta, heading east.
Going
we're all
away,
right.
going
Yeah.
away, not coming back anytime soon.
And,
so.
and there'll be a lot of people coming in here from all over our hotels. I haven't checked to see, but I would think most of them will be full.
Yes,
don't you
most of
think?
them are full. Most of our artists stay in the hotel. So if you think
Yeah.
about, we have 86 artists, and looking at the locations, and then we have 15 food vendors. We have 11 people in farmers market, and so I mean we have probably 80 rooms booked just for our artists for Troy Fest, not their guests or people coming from out of town or
That's
so.
amazing. Does Rob
what
still
about,
have?
what about volunteers? I know you can't do this without volunteers. How many volunteers y'all have doing
Yeah,
those?
we have a lot of really great volunteers. We try to get at least 5 to 6 volunteers for every hour of the festival to help distribute water to our vendors, help booth sit for our vendors, and so and then our Troy Fest committee is an incredible volunteer committee.
Yeah, no question about it. Does Rob still have his famous party for the artists?
Yes, that is the Charles Adams Artist Barbecue Party Saturday night.
And I've heard it's a wonderful party.
We think it is. It starts right after the festival closes at 5 p.m. We go to the studio.
Yeah.
Our artists enjoy some barbecue, and then we give out our artist awards. So that's where we award Best of Show. We give out all of our winners in each category, and we give out, I think it's close to $10,000 in artist awards at that.
That is
show.
wonderful. That's wonderful. So let me just say this: these artists, it's very important to get these good artists to come to Troy. But they don't come for nothing. I mean, they come with the idea they're going to make money.
That's right. We really want to support these artists and show them that we want to see them back. And so many of our artists love coming to Troy. They love meeting people in Troy, but they need to sell their
don't
items.
just look, buy something, and and it means so much to these artists. And and what I'm saying, if they are successful, that means they'll come back every year.
That's right. And on the items that they sell at Troy Fest, they fall under a blanket. We give them one business license for the festival operations if they're an approved vendor, and then they pay city taxes on the sales that they make at the festival. So they pay taxes back into our community as well.
Yeah. Auburn is competing against us. They've got their
City
deal
Fest.
this weekend, and I'd put Troy against them any day of the week.
Yes.
But that's one of the reasons why some of the artists are not here.
Well, I'm not sure that any of our really great. Is that where Mary? Is that where Mary Ann?
I think
Okay.
that's
Well,
right,
other than Mary Ann, because she lives in Auburn now, going there. I don't know that it's a really big contest for our great artists, because I think that's a little bit more of a city fest, and Troy Fest is going to truly be an art festival.
That's right. And people that come here, and I know a friend of mine from Ozark, she had 3 or 4 of her friends. They come in every year, and they're serious art buyers.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to buy something and find something just jump out at you,
That's right,
and
if you think that you may not find yourself buying any art, we have a great entertainment schedule. We're going to start, and kids crafts. We have a great kids corner where we'll have crafts and activities for the children throughout the weekend that are free. But our entertainment begins 10 a.m. on Saturday with the Southern Baton Company at the Troy Cable Entertainment Stage. That's led by Lauren Chandler.
Now that will be right next door to Birds.
Yes,
is that right?
in the parking lot adjacent to Birds. We'll have
which I think is a great place to sit down and rest.
Yeah,
and whatever,
it's a great place for our entertainment stage. Then we'll have Shebang perform at 11 a.m.
Can't wait to see Shebang.
That's right.
Because Troy is a
clogging
capital.
Clogging capital. We'll have Hallie Nolan There's a vocalist that's performed the College Senior Center Dancers at 1:30 p.m., the Luverne High School Jazz Band at 2 p.m. The festival will close at 5 p.m. and then Sunday morning we'll begin with a church service on the square at 9 a.m. in the Stevens Gazebo. And then our festival opens at 10. We'll have a performance from the Troy University Indian Ensemble, and this is the first time they've performed, so I'm not quite sure what they'll do, so that'll be interesting. Then at 12:45 we'll have the First Baptist Church Music Ministry, which will include everything from the children's ministry up to the ladies ensemble and choir. We'll have Zumba at 2:15. And then our festival will close at 4 p.m. on Sunday. So make plans to come.
You need to get out there and do Zumba, Doug.
Oh, yeah. I know. Well, I know this. Zumba is a big thing.
It's very big. Yes, in the first year, Kelly Norris wanted to come to Troy Fest and, you know, on the entertainment stage do Zumba. We thought, I wonder what's going to happen. Well, I'll tell you what happened is she brought a Zumba class, and she led Zumba, and the other people she brought, they did Zumba down on the pavement area, and people joined in and loved it.
Can anybody do Zumba?
Yeah, yeah.
Even old man?
Well, I think, you know, maybe at a different pace, but I think you could follow through the motions. There's no,
exactly
you know,
right. Yeah.
You'll probably have to have permission from your doctor.
Yeah, I know it might have to. But you know what? Everybody, you know, of course, I don't think Jacqueline minds if we mention her name, but she loves Zumba.
Oh,
but
yeah.
every time she likes Zumba, the Zumba leader moves out of town.
Oh.
You know? But this girl now has been here a while.
Yes, and I know lots of people that have taken classes from her and really enjoy it. So
it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, you know, at night for people, you know, there's a big baseball game starting at 6 o'clock tonight from Riddle Place Field. So that'll be something that some of the folks can do tonight. And like he said, wonderful restaurants. Big Ray's will be open probably all weekend long.
I would think so. I know they were open Sunday last year as well. They had a brunch menu Sunday. So, and I think if you'll check on Facebook, most of the businesses are posting their hours for the weekend on Facebook, so you can check.
A lot of you folks that haven't eaten at Rumors, good opportunity there. That food's good, and then our little quiche place.
Dolce, yes.
You know, somebody says you have to go to France to eat like that. Is that right?
I guess. I've never been to France.
But I know this, that the quiche I had was full of bacon and ham. Oh, it was good.
I love quiche. I make quiche oftentimes. I love quiche.
And it was really, really, really good. And, of course, they're open right now today. And of course, you know, we need to take advantage of that restaurant.
Yes, we sure
Everybody doesn't have a Dolce.
No, they don't. They don't. So
and we're real proud of them. And, of course, Sips on the Square will be open. Will they be open on Sunday, too? Or?
I don't know. I don't know.
We know they'll be open on Saturday,
right.
won't they?
I'm not sure.
And of course, my buddy down on Love Street,
Flows
will be open, and it's going to be full of a lot of people hanging around and eating at our restaurant.
That's right, and enjoying great fellowship and
then
food.
Of course, what's our we've got Mama Goldberg's also down there, and you know, for good food, and hopefully all of our local businesses will be opening up. I've heard rumor, as our Rumors got their name, that we're going to get another restaurant in a unique area of town. Have you heard that?
Well, I think you mentioned it Monday, and I've not heard anything about it.
Well, and if they do, it's going to really add to Troy downtown.
Good.
I hope it's called Sisters too.
No, but yeah, you're right. I've just heard.
I got some property near Crow Hill on the lake, about a 40-acre lake. Somebody needs to put a restaurant on. So, anybody out there listening today?
Yeah, you're exactly right. But of course, downtown Troy is going to be flourishing, and the restaurants out of town. Gosh, if you start throwing in some of the restaurants that we have in Troy, you know, it's really amazing. You know, the quality of restaurants that you can go to. You know, and you know, one of them is one of my favorite places to eat. out on is Mossy Grove.
Oh, yes, yes.
You know, their service there is so good. The food's there so good. I tell people all the time, you go there, you're eating right off the bat, you know, with their great cornbread and peas and all that.
She also cuts your hair, don't she?
Yeah, the girl that cuts my hair is out there, and I get my hair cut before I pay.
You know they got that barber chair.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
Now I'm cutting up a little bit. What'd you say, Mike?
They have a barber chair when you're walking home.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. And then, of course, Red Schoolhouse in Dublin, Alabama, which is a great place on Sunday to eat. And then our new steak place on the bypass, Preston's is always good. And, of course, Sisters is always good. And, you know, I'm proud of our local restaurants, and we're getting more. Cookout is opening up soon. And, you know, that's going to be great. And, you know, it's just wonderful that we've got more and more vendors, more and more people wanting to go into business in Troy. I think downtown Troy is going to be a not a tourist attraction, but a place people want to go on the weekend.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's already that.
And and it would tickle me one day that it would do so well that we could park on the outsides and you walk into a square that's got full of things going on, you know.
Yeah, that's like in where is it? Where Ole Miss is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Oxford.
Oxford.
Yeah, that's right. And it is unique. And it was a dream of your father-in-law, Dr. Doug Hawkins.
Yeah.
Well, that's I know you know he's been gone. This be the second.
The third in September. 3 years, I think.
3 years, isn't that amazing?
In September.
And boy, I tell you what, his memory lives on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And gosh, wasn't he a wonderful. But you know, his. Your husband, Rob, going to sort of take over where he left off, don't you think?
Well, maybe. I don't know if you can quite feel
with his love of the arts, what I'm saying, you know.
And community. So.
Nobody loved the arts any more than Doug Hawkins. You know, I remember something about him. For years and years, he was a bottle collector.
Yes. He wrote a book on bottle collecting.
Did he still have a bottle? Do y'all still have that?
I know that he enjoyed collecting bottles. I'm not sure.
Isn't that amazing?
I'm not
quite sure. Where did he put them all?
I don't know.
Where did he put them all?
I don't know. I've seen the book, but.
Yeah, but that was sort of unusual.
Yeah,
wasn't
very
it?
unique. Yeah.
But I remember that very well. And then he started painting and dabbling. And at first it was sort of, like you said, it's sort of folk art, but. You know, the more and more you looked at it, and I was in a guy's office the other day, General Gravan. He's got one sitting up there. His art, maybe it was after he died, everybody wants some of his art, but it really became sort of famous a little bit, didn't it?
I think it was very personal. He enjoyed painting pieces for specific people, and that made a difference. He really thought about, I'm giving this piece to so-and-so, and so he would paint with that in mind,
exactly.
And that kind of intention made it special as well.
Yeah, and of course, we've talked about this when you were here before. You Miss Jane Brantley, did the circus picture, which became sort of famous a little bit. A lot of people would love to have a copy of that.
Yeah.
You and Rob probably do, don't you?
I think that Jacqueline gave us one. I don't know that it's framed though.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to frame it and put it up, but. I need to find that. But I know that I've seen it, so I don't know if I saw it at the Johnson Center, or maybe she donated one to the Johnson Center auction. Maybe that was it.
Well, you know, being married to Rob and you being an art collector too, y'all stay pretty busy, don't you? I mean, you got quite a bit of art, don't you?
We do. We enjoy art. And
a lot of Moe's tea. Do y'all have a lot of Moe's tea?
We have some.
How valuable, and there people out there, we need to go and bring. How many people out there do we, how about some coffee then? Don't be just. Oh yeah, good. Moe Tea, all right. Tell us a little bit about him and tell us about the value of his art.
Yeah, Moe's Tea, Moses Tolliver was his name. He was, worked in warehouse or factory in Montgomery and had an accident one time, and so it prevented him from going back to work. And then he kind of took up painting and became very popular and loved folk artist out of Montgomery. And he and
now let me ask this: was he a folk artist, or was he a little bit off mentally at all? You know, because you look at his paintings and they are sort of unusual, you know.
Well, those things may go hand in hand.
I know.
The folk artist and being awful little mentally.
So he was like a lot of people. He was.
I think he had
he was as crazy as he had to be. Is that right?
I think he had like kind of a strange sense of humor and maybe an imagination that I'm not sure. I never met him, so I don't know. I can't speak
All right,
to that.
Dougie,
but he was close with him, and he would often take him scrap pieces of wood and sit with him as he painted, and so he painted lots of things for Dougie, and so and then his daughter Annie T began painting as well. And you know, I think that you talked about the value of Mose teas. I think it's hard to determine sometimes if they were painted by Mose or Annie T.
I know this. My daughter Camille has a lot of it, and you know, well, quite a bit of it, because you know, she wants it. She collects it, and a lot of people have done that. But Troy Fest has helped enhance his art in this part of the country, wouldn't you say?
Well, I think Troy Fest celebrates folk art, and he definitely fell in the folk art category. And so while he never showed at Troy Fest or never came to Troy Fest, to my knowledge, I should say to my knowledge, I think that the festival, just the city of Troy has an appreciation for folk art. I know when I was the director of the Johnson Center for the Arts, we would often look at other museums and their exhibitions, and where our exhibition committee was, I mean, there was a folk artist on the exhibition calendar every 12 months. Other museums probably didn't have that, but I don't think they also had the desire for that in their community like we do.
Exactly right. And of course, you know, like you said, some people have a bigger collection. Like our friend from Brundage, you know, Dr. Doug had a lot to do with her becoming sort of famous.
Oh, Betty C. Matthews.
And then Noel comes in, and Noel goes crazy and buys all of her stuff. And isn't that right?
I'm told. You know, I'm a Troy transplant, so I only know the stories I've been told.
But her art, we've got a lot of it, and it became sort of famous.
Yeah, yeah.
And she would just grew up.
She's
you know, fooling with it.
One of her family members had her, or was with her at Kentuck a few years ago, and so I mean, to be in Kentuck with your work, of course, is prestigious, and so.
And that's in Tuscaloosa.
And that's they celebrate folk art as well. They have a lot of folk artists, and a lot of our artists that come to Troy Fest go to Kentuck as well. And I think that's a testament to our festival.
Exactly. Now, Jean Lake, of course, her paintings you can see them a mile off. They're very identical. As the little the people are small. And the buildings are big.
From what I've been exposed to, she had two different distinct styles of painting. Either she had the not countryside landscapes, but the country home and people working in the home or doing things outside, or she had the plaques that had quotes on them.
Yeah.
So kind of what I've seen, two very distinct styles. So either the quotes with butterflies or scenery on them, kind of in a plaque format, or the paintings that are framed with
pretty much always a grassless yard,
right?
You know, and that you saw that a lot. You saw that a lot back in the old days, and of course, you know, her art became famous, and she became famous, and so you know, she's sort of a bell cow, her art and so forth. But still, if somebody had some Jean Lakes out there, there's a lot of value there. Don't you agree?
I think that the value in art is what it means to you, or if you want to sell it, what somebody will buy it for.
Exactly. And Jean Lake, if there was somebody, let's say, put out 4 or 5 or 6 Jean Lakes, they'd go just like that, don't you think?
I think they would if you had the right buyer. You know, when I worked at the art museum, people always asked me about the value of art, and I think it's always surprising because at face value, there's not a lot of value in it. You have to find someone who appreciates it and is willing to invest in that same value that you find valuable for it to be valuable. So it's very subjective.
My wife, of course, buys up a lot of art. She enjoys it, and some artists jump out to her more than others.
Yeah.
But of course, one of her favorites was the late great artist we had here at Troy University that died a few years ago. Oh me. You know who I'm talking about? He was very good, and I'll think about it in a minute.
Okay.
But she's bought a lot of her.
I'm trying to think of. Now you're not talking about Sheila Beer.
Sheila Beer, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, sure.
Sheila Beer was an outstanding artist, and but now.
Well, I don't think I knew that he died.
Yeah, he died.
Okay.
Yeah, he's dead now, and it makes his art even more valuable, I think.
Yeah.
And of course, he was a great guy.
I liked him. I just knew him in his later years, but he would call me sometimes, or Rob sometimes.
That's right, yeah.
He was living out in a trailer park
that's
somewhere,
right, yeah, that's right.
and he'd say, "Come look at what I have," and he'd just have stacks of his paintings.
And let me tell you some quality art. I mean, he's very good.
Yeah.
And again, that art's out there, and there's some value in it. You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah.
Of course, with the Moe's Tea, you could spot a Moe's Tea a mile away. Is that right?
I think so. Usually, if you know the style, because there's.
And I think everybody would want some Moe's Tea. Do you think there'll be any Moe's Tea for sale this weekend?
No, because at Troy, and we've had that before, people ask that, but at Troy Fest, the artist sells his or her work.
You. Yeah.
And so it's not
so
like
you don't sell somebody else's.
No.
All right. So that makes it different.
Yes, that makes it different.
Yeah.
The only thing we've had different from that in the past, we had an artist who passed away really recently, and his son sold his work.
Yeah.
I think we've had or sold some prints of work, but no, we try to have original artists selling his or her work that was handmade, not mass-produced, and they're present as well, because we also don't want, you to be buying art and not interact with the artist.
Yeah, I got you.
So,
and
now I don't know if Dougie may have had a booth one time, and he may have had Moe's Teas for sale in his booth. I don't know, but he didn't always follow the rules. So.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Troy Fest, and what a wonderful time it'll be. Face painting? Will there be any face painting?
Yes, there'll be face painting and kids activities. In the Messenger Kids Corner, we'll also have puppets from First Baptist Church performing 9:30, 10:30, 11:50,
wonderful.
1 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. Great activity for children. So this is truly a family-friendly festival.
Where will that be, in the children's corner?
The children's corner will be down kind of by confetti crates. So follow the wall there at Birds and go down the street toward confetti crate, and that area. There'll be lots of fun things going on for the children.
While you're sitting here, because look at this. Let's go back again. There it is. And that's Troy Fest 2018. That's the shirt. Sharp shirt. A shirt you'd want to wear to the beach. Shirt you'd want to wear anywhere, wouldn't you?
I think so, yes.
And again, that young lady's name?
Courtney Cobb. Courtney Cobb, a student at Covington Christian. Her art teacher, Christy Drinkwater.
Oh, yeah. Now I know the rest of the story. But before we get off of this, talking about some of the, and of course, Troy had characters, artists. Did it surprise you, moving from Birmingham and moving to Troy, that there's so many unique people?
Yes. Well, I think you have the opportunity to get to know those unique people in a community like this. So while those people may be present in larger areas, it's harder to connect with those people. And so in Pike County, particularly working, like I said, for the Johnson Center for the Arts, I was able to quickly hear a lot of stories about wonderful, influential people that affected the arts community in Troy, and really had an impact across all areas.
You know something, and we talked a little bit about this the other day. Wouldn't it be nice in a way if you could open up the First Baptist Church and First United Methodist Church and let people tour those beautiful churches.
Yeah.
I mean, those are two of the prettiest churches
They
in
really
the country,
are.
and they're right there off the square,
Off the square,
downtown Troy.
Yeah, and they really contribute as well to the skyline of the city.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I love looking at the skyline of the city, being able to see those steeples and the water tower, and it's a really beautiful
Noll,
skyline.
the great artist, and of course, Noll is known worldwide for his art, and of course he loved painting those the downtown buildings and those churches and all that. He really also always enjoyed it, and of course they're unique figures. I reckon if you wanted to recognize Troy with a painting, it'd probably be one of those churches, wouldn't you think?
Well, I think so, or I think it would definitely include the skyline that had those steeples in it. I think that those buildings were definitely invested in and built in a way to last and to be beautiful.
Yeah. Of course, you teach at Troy in the journalism department, and I'm sure we want to encourage a lot of students to come, and I would think a lot of international students will probably be coming downtown tomorrow, don't you think?
I think a lot of students in general come. It's a fun, free event in Troy. They whether it's the food that brings them or the thought of looking around and maybe finding something to buy. I think a lot of students as well invite their parents to come to Troy for this weekend to shop. So
wonderful time, no question about it, and we're excited. Now remember the logistics again. Don't let your car be caught inside that square, that square area, and of course if you want to put a line around it, a rope around it.
It doesn't matter.
231 will not be stopped, though.
No, or the 3 Knott Street will not be blocked off.
And
so
you just can't block off a U.S. highway.
No,
people don't realize that you can be in front of B. Graves and go all the way to New York City.
Yeah.
On Highway 29.
Right. Yeah, and we cannot block that off for an extended period of time. They can for parades for a short period of times, but and that is we ask you if you're going to be traveling through 3 Knott Street to please proceed with caution because there are so many people, families, children walking around.
And we don't need anybody stopping and chatting. You don't want to do that. Don't you agree?
I agree. Don't stop, but don't go fast either. I'd almost rather be stopped than go fast, but. It's a very accessible festival. I think that there are lots of parking lots. We have the First Baptist Church, First Methodist Church, the courthouse, the Johnson Center for the Arts, City Hall. All of those parking lots are available for parking when you come to Troy Fest.
And I'll tell you this, Troy Fest doesn't just happen, ladies and gentlemen. You'll start preparing for next 2019 not long after this is over.
We'll have a meeting
But I know Rob Drinkard.
We'll have a meeting Tuesday after the festival to wrap up and start planning for the next year. So
I've got to say something about your husband. What makes your husband tick?
You mean ticked off or tick?
I know it doesn't take much to make him ticked off.
No, well, I don't know
Let me
about
tell you
that.
this. Her husband, and we talked about this the other day, if you want to put a commercial for a battery on the back of somebody, put it on the back of Rob Drinkard.
Probably so.
He's moving fast, isn't he?
Yes. Moving fast, and
but he loves it, doesn't he?
He does, and he loves Troy, and he loves the community. It's not always easy for us to volunteer. We volunteer our time to do this, as do all of the committee members, but doesn't correlate with our daily occupation. But we do it because he loves the community and all our other festival committee members. We have a really great committee. We have Whitney Conrad, we have Nicole Godwin, Mallory Hill, Renee Dickerson. We have two employees from Troy Bank and Trust over on our committee, Renee Dickerson and Whitney Conrad, and that organization is so generous to give their employees to help us, because Renee serves as our treasurer. We have Sheila Jackson, Catherine Jordan, Tessa Paul. Those are city employees. Leanne Wyndham, Willie B. Williams. Let's see, who else? We have Lauren Cochran. We have myself and Rob. We have 2 interns from the Hospitality, Sport, and Tourism program at the university this year. I know I'm forgetting. Oh, Pam Smith. And Pam Smith.
Oh, she really is
She
talented.
puts together the art show at the Johnson Center that's held during this time. She organizes the Student Art Awards. She is passionate about not only Troy Fest and the arts in this community, but the student aspect of art. And so without Miss Pam Smith, she does just a phenomenal job. Miss Wiley White gets our judges for the festival, and like I said, Bart Culpepper does our entertainment. He's a music minister at First Baptist Church, and he organizes our entertainment for the weekend. And like I said, I know I'm forgetting someone, but
now Jean's Flowers, they're of course they provide flowers for people that send across the world. You know a little bit about that. Tell us about what's going on with them.
Well, my mother-in-law, Martha Lynn Drinkard, owns Jean's Flowers on South Brundage Street, and they are available for sending flowers locally and, like you said, wiring flowers internationally. And I always like to tell people the best way to order flowers is to pick up the phone and call 566-2480. These online services where you go online and use Teleflora and these other companies.
It's just like that.
They take a lot of the profit though before your money gets to the flower shop. So pick up the phone and call, even if you have to leave a voicemail.
If you have somebody in the hospital, you have somebody that had a birthday.
Mother's Day is coming
up. Pick up the phone, give them your credit card, and it's over.
Yeah.
You don't do anything else. It's that easy, and not just flowers.
Also something that. Jean's Flowers I was impressed with when I became close to the business, but the funeral arrangements and the cemetery flowers. I mean, think about with Mother's Day and Father's Day coming up, it's a great time to just pick up the phone and say, hey, I'd like to have some new flowers sent to. And if it's a local cemetery, they will replace those flowers, and so then they can have them replaced before you go visit. So that way it's pretty and nice looking and a great gesture for those members that have passed away.
All right. I used to travel with ADECA and ADO with the state of Alabama for 25 to 28 years. I used to travel North Alabama. And in North Alabama, they'd have cemetery days where they would have the whole day, they would bring in food, and everybody would work and clean up the cemeteries, put fresh flowers out. It was gorgeous. Wow. I mean, it was gorgeous, but it was also a great opportunity for people to gather that have something in common. You know, they had roots in that cemetery, and they would have programs, and it would just be a whole weekend of fun. Yeah. And they call it Cemetery Day. Well, we can do the same thing here, Yeah. Especially, like the old cemetery on Knox Street.
Yeah, especially the smaller family type cemeteries.
Go put some flowers on Miss Pearl Peacock, who was just like family members of my wife. And so many people are buried in that cemetery too, And of course, a beautiful cemetery, Green Hills, and so forth. But up in North Alabama, every year they have one day called Cemetery Day.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But like I said, that's one of the things that I was really impressed in was Martha Lynn's particular expertise in knowing cemetery flowers and what works and what doesn't. All of these urns are different sizes, and
but a gift is so easy, and a gift is so personable. Flowers, just for any occasion. Hey, I love you. You're a great neighbor. Appreciate you picking up my garbage when I was out of town. That type thing. Yeah,
they really are. It's really, really valued. And in springtime, there's lots of great flowers available.
Yeah, no question about it. And of course, we appreciate it.
And plants that'll last. Some people say, well, flowers die. Well, they have plants that
exactly right.
That will be a great gift. So.
But back to meeting and gathering and with these groups. Of course, it's a good way to meet new people, and there are a lot of great young couples like yourself in Troy, and you sort of feel obligated in a way to support these type of programs because it's quality. It provides class to our community, don't you think?
We think so. We like to think so.
I mean, don't you feel like over the years that Troy Fest is well respected across the whole state?
Yes, you can say Troy Fest in the state of Alabama, and if they have been to Troy and they come to Troy on a regular basis, they have probably come to Troy Fest.
That's right.
So.
It's a great opportunity to come and have lunch. You know, see, I like to come in the mornings and I'll go by Birds and get a cup of coffee and walk and stroll around. But lunchtime is also fun because there's so many places to eat and so forth, and you know, and meet with your friends and like people your age with young children. You know, have the strollers, and it'll be a great time for young wives to stroll their children, don't you think?
Yes.
Or mothers, and of course it's a lot of fun, and it's just amazing what you folks are able to do. And
well, we have a lot of great help. We have a lot of great support from Mayor Reeves, and the City of Troy staff is on call at all times. We have the departments working, utilities, and have the sanitation department, and everyone's working to make it. It's not one person. It's not even one committee. It's really truly a community event.
I want to throw out a couple of local things. Charles Henderson girls beat Luverne 12-2 yesterday in 4 innings. So Tucker Earls had 2 hits. Emma Kirkpatrick had a couple of hits and pitched, and Molly Kate Sanders. Good team. Let's go to our phones. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hi, morning. Sorry.
Mike Game has called back from Birmingham this morning, and of course you're gonna make
beautiful day so far, man. I'll tell you what, it was raining pretty rough yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I've got a feeling we're gonna have perfect weather. I really do. And in fact, this coolness, I hope the coolness stays with us a little bit.
I think so.
It was 47 degrees at the airport this morning, and you know, that's pretty cool. And heck, that's why I'm wearing a sweater. You know.
That's right.
You just like to be able to wear sweater vests year round.
Oh yeah, well I'm wearing a sweater vest. I'm wearing a sweater. Of course, Brantley beat Wicksburg 10-0, and these tournaments will be coming up soon, and huge tournaments coming to Troy. Just visualize this: softball tournament coming to Troy, Alabama, with 45 teams. All right, just look at it this way. 20, let's say at least 20 people on the team with counting coaches, then their mamas and the daddies, and their aunts and their uncles and the brothers and the sisters all come to Troy. So let's say each one of them on that team have at least 10 people coming. That's close to 4,000 people.
Yeah, when is this tournament?
And that's coming up next weekend.
Next weekend,
which it will
May
fill the hotels of Troy, Alabama. And that's good.
Yeah, you got all that property out there that's not developed yet. I guess you could build a hotel out there, couldn't you?
Where's that?
Out towards the Sportsplex.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar with all that. But
all the property going out.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. Eventually that might happen. You know, Troy.
Hotel, like behind Publix or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Troy needs more hotels. They really do, especially for all the activities that are coming into town, like that one I just told you, but also, you know, all year round. You know,
So Morgan, are you still teaching at Troy University?
Yes, I am.
She teaches in the journalism department.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
does a great job.
I tried journalism when I first came to Troy.
Yeah. And of course, you know, a lot
Little
of
did I know I'd be on Today in LA one day.
Well, I will tell you this, and there are opportunities here at Troy Cable for people that can announce ball games, you know, or wants to put on a program. There are opportunities here at Troy Cable.
Yeah.
You know
Does they still have Trojan Vision?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, oh yeah.
2 live shows a day.
Yeah, they sure do, and it's known, very well known, Troy journalism department. Because
Well, yeah, you know, the biggest weather, well, not the biggest guy is James Spann, but probably the second biggest weather guy in Troy, and is a Troy graduate, and he's on CBS, is Mark Prater, and he was on Troy Vision.
Is James Spann a Troy graduate?
No, Mark Prater.
No, I said Mark Prater is.
I know, but why did you mention James Spann?
Because James Spann is probably the number 1 weather guy, and
Yeah.
Mark Prater is probably number 2 weather guy.
Yeah, Mark Prater's a Troy guy.
James Spann's a legend, Dad.
Oh, I know it. I know it.
I mean, he's like must-see TV. When there's like a bad storm coming through, I mean, like literally, I mean, I'll watch it for hours.
James Spann.
Now he's broke my heart.
He's not the prettiest weatherman out there, I'll tell you that.
He's broke my heart several times on snowstorms. I'll tell you that.
I know it, no question about it. But it's always good to have a good weatherman, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
And of course,
they're telling how many kids get their start down, like in the Panama City Beach area. I always heard a lot of Troy kids out of college get jobs down there.
In journalism, yes, there are a lot of different stations, media outlets in that area.
And of course, you know.
Did you, when you were in college, were you a journalism major?
Yes, as a broadcast journalism major.
Yeah. Did you ever go on Trojan Vision?
I did.
So as far as that goes, is it just one show or is it 2 shows? They do a 5 o'clock
yes,
and a 10 o'clock?
They do. They produce 2 live shows a day along with other programs focused on sports and Trojan Talk. And so the students that are there for a regular basis, and I didn't do any regular stint, just stories, but the anchors of those shows, they get great experience, and they've won a lot of awards. They win a lot of Southeast Journalism Awards and really national awards for their journalism work.
I want to say it's one of the very few student news and weather programs in the state.
It is one of the very few truly student-led. When I was in graduate school at the University of Alabama, one of our assignments was to produce a commercial, and so I went to the newsroom, and I was ready to check out a camera and go film. And when I went to do that, they laughed at me. They said, students can't do that. They didn't allow their students to touch the equipment or check out the equipment, and our students can hands-on produce full shows and stories. And so I thought, well, University of Alabama they didn't even let their students produce their own show. So it's truly student-led. It's truly student-led.
You know, Troy Cable does a great job.
Is it still located like behind the library?
Yes, in the basement of the library, yes.
Mike, Troy Cable.
When do you think Troy will build a new library, Dad? Don't you think that's something on the horizon? That
I don't
library's
know. What I think they need to do is build a couple of...
5 years old?
I think they need to just build a couple of stories go up a couple of stories. But you're right, they do have a small library, you know, that they need to enhance that library, don't you think?
Well, yes and no. You have to understand that the idea of a library has changed drastically. Now you don't have to have shelves and shelves of microfilm and shelves and shelves of encyclopedias. There's so many digital resources, so a lot of the physical space is not needed for books, but it is needed for like they've added new things in the Troy University Library. Like for example, they have this technology classroom, like kind of collaborative classroom, where you can go in and look at digital resources, pull digital resources. They also have some neat things like they have these workout bikes, and you can do your homework, like listen to your homework or watch your homework on the computer while you work or ride your bike.
That is amazing.
I tell you what, I remember for like study halls and stuff like that, there were so many nooks and crannies in that library. You could be in certain areas and nobody'd ever see it.
Right. So I think maybe they're working to integrate some new technology, but I don't know if physical space is a true need for a library today like it used to be. But I do think that the technological advancement in the existing space is definitely a part of the plan.
I know this.
You're too young for this, Morgan, but you don't realize, like, Troy had one of the nicest bowling alleys, probably in the state of Alabama, the Adams Center, when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many lanes it was, 12, 14 lanes, and they did away with that bowling alley. And I mean, I still to this day can't believe they did away with that bowling alley.
Well, they made a very nice exercise room now, and right now they're building.
Adams Center has restaurants too, though, don't they have? Do you say they have a Steak and Shake or something, Dad?
Yes, they have.
They've added Steak and Shake.
American Cookie Company, Steak and Shake. Have a Chinese place, Einstein Bagels. They have a full food court.
That's right. And
really?
an enlarged chicken place too. You know.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, a full-fledged Chick-fil-A right there on campus, and you know, the food is good, and their Chinese food is real good.
Yes, I had it for lunch yesterday. It's very good.
Oh man, their food is good, and it's open to the public. I mean, the public's invited to eat there, you know, and of course, we appreciate all the things. You know, back to the library, people that do, a lot of the international kids use it because, you know, they want access to books and read about history and all that and so forth, and, you know, a lot of other things going on at Troy University. Let's just say this, it's growing by leaps and bounds. Is that right?
I think so. I think that would be accurate.
I think what's impressive about Troy is when you're in Montgomery, all the T's you see just in Montgomery. I wonder how many kids go to school at Troy University Montgomery, because I mean there's a lot of T's when I'm driving through heading back to Birmingham. I see.
Yeah. Well, let me say this too. Troy Cable is very capable of doing commercials and so forth. A couple of people have been coming up to me saying, "I've seen your ad on TV." All right, and I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, it's an ad for Wiley Sanders Truck Lines." Well, Mike, there's one on WSFA now of me and House Daddy.
So you're like portraying the truck driver that's
one of the truck drivers, and it was all ad lib. I mean, none of it was planned, and now they're running it every day on WSFA TV. So remember, if it don't say Sanders Truck Lines, you don't want it.
Doesn't that have to scare people to death that an old man like you is on the road?
Well, it's an automatic transmission truck. We're not moving, Mike. We're sitting still, but it is automatic transmission. Hey, Morgan could drive it. Morgan could drive this truck, you know, and you could drive it. You know, not many people know how to stand a ship. Can you drive a standing ship?
No.
Hardly anybody can, you know. And now they got trucks with Wiley Sanders that's automatic. What?
They could be team drivers. They could drive the country.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a lot of people that are, you know, husband and wife team drivers.
No question about it. Talking about Troy Fest, a lot of people use this weekend as a weekend for the kids to come home.
Yes.
You know, a lot of the kids come home. It's a big day. You know, Troy Appreciation Days are like that too.
That's
you know,
right.
homecoming, where a lot of people come home. So this is a big day in Troy, Alabama, and hopefully a lot of folks be coming home and enjoying visiting with their parents and seeing everybody at Troy Fest.
That's right. That's right.
And again, now, where can they buy this shirt? You know, right off the bat.
Yeah, this is our 2018 Troy Fest shirt, and it can be purchased at the merchandise tent, which is across from the Stevens Gazebo on the square, and the T-shirts are $12 this year.
Oh, that's cheap.
So get there early and get your T-shirt.
All right, so I can get a XX this morning from you. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. There it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good-looking shirt. And let me tell you this, when people see Troy Fest, they really get excited. And tell us again who did that.
Courtney Cobb, a student at
Courtney
Covington
Cobb,
Christian.
and I think, Mike, she's the daughter of, oh, she's not? Oh, okay. I don't know exactly whose child she is, but that's real good art, I promise you. And they do that every year, is that right?
Yes, it's a student art contest each year. So each year the Troy Fest T-shirt is designed by a student art award winner, and then it's kind of transposed into the digital T-shirt press.
Thank you, Mike. Have a great weekend.
Bye, man.
All right, final note. First of all, logistics. Park outside the square.
That's right, and come to Troy Fest Friday, April 28th, Sunday, April 29th. Saturday, our hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and the festival is free of charge.
And if you want a church service, there will be one downtown.
Sunday morning at 9 a.m. at the Stevens Gazebo.
And at the Stevens Gazebo, or you can walk down to First Baptist or walk to Troy First Methodist.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right. That's right.
And, of course, we're excited, and, of course, I know I'll go ahead and congratulate you and Rod already. Rob, you work tirelessly, and I know this is a huge weekend, and when it's over, it's a great relief, isn't it?
Well, it is, but we have a lot of anticipation for the weekend, so we're excited.
And then over the years, you've met and known all these artists, especially Rob. These are old friends of his.
Yeah, we enjoy meeting the artists. As our family has grown, we've enjoyed sharing our family with these artists, and many of our committee members and regular Troy Fest attendees feel like this. We're welcoming these artists home.
And without the great artists that will be coming here, you know, it doesn't make it quite the event that it is. But let me just say this. when you see these artists, thank them for coming to Troy.
That's right. And then buy something from them.
And buy something from them, and exactly right. And you're going to always have an item that says, I bought that at Troy Fest 2018.
That's right.
Hope you've enjoyed today's show. This sweetheart here, I tell you, I just love her to death. She's so good to come by and keep us informed with what's going on. And she's quite a talent, I promise you, in her own right. And we appreciate her and Rob. Hey, I self-proclaim this today in Troy, Alabama, Rob Drinkard and Morgan Drinkard Day in Pike County, Alabama.
Troy Fest kickoff day.
I self-proclaim it. Have a great weekend, and you can watch us today again at 1:30 right here on Troy Cable Channel 2. Have a great weekend, and good luck to everybody at Troy Fest.